Hello everyone, this is Brandon, and for a few minutes I'd like to talk about fasted exercise. This is it's not a controversial topic, but one that a lot of people have questions about. The theory with fasted exercise is that you utilize more of your fat stores during your exercise. Therefore, it is an easier way to lose weight and body fat. And there is some actual data to back that up. But I believe there are some pros and cons. I come of the mindset that not every way works for everybody, and depending on the individual, they may want to rethink fasted exercise. Again, I want to come out and say, if you have been doing fasted exercise and it has worked for you, continue doing it. It's not going to hurt you or harm you in general if you're doing it properly, but I want to offer another point of view. So first, let's get into the pros of fasted cardio. So number one, especially if you're doing fasted cardio earlier or fasted exercise earlier in the morning, you start your day off with a negative calorie amount. Well, what does that even mean? So let's say for the sake of argument that you are allotted 2,000 calories a day for your maintenance calories. Well, before you eat anything, you start to exercise and you do a 500 calorie workout. Well, what that does is it takes that 2,000 calories and it adds another 500 calories to that because you are in the negative of 500. So you are now allotted about 2,500 with maintenance. So using that logic, if you are going to do fasted exercise, before you eat this, that, and the other, you will start the day off with negative calories, allowing you a little bit more wiggle room over the course of the day. All right? So starting the day off with negative calories. Again, nothing wrong with that at all. Another thing, possible appetite suppression. A lot of people, when they eat or when they exercise, they find that their hunger actually lowers. So if you exercise, let's say earlier in the morning or right before you eat, you might decrease the amount of calories that you eat throughout the day. Again, further increasing your caloric deficit, which allows you to burn more calories, which then allows you to lose more body fat and more weight there. All right, so good, right? Not bad at all. This is fasted exercise is sounding really good. Next, stress relief. For a lot of people, exercise is a big stress relief, and a lot of our eating is based off of how stressed we are. So if you exercise in a fasted state and you get that endorphin rush and, oh my gosh, you're feeling good, you may be less likely to stress eat later on down the road, further reducing how many calories that you eat, which again increases your caloric deficit, which increases the amount of body fat and weight that you will lose over a set amount of time. All right? So again, if fasted exercise works for you, continue to do it. Continue to do it. Now, for someone who's thinking about it and say, well, let me hear what are some of the cons, to that. Let's look over here. And again, this is not a comprehensive list. These are just a couple that I see on the regular. Number one, decreased workout performance. I don't care what study it is, but we need carbs in order to increase our performance to work out. It's just a simple fact. Carbohydrates are the body's easiest way to manufacture energy. All right. So if we don't have a lot of carbs and our blood sugar is fairly low, you're not going to put out as much during your exercise as you would have if you were not fasting. Again, that may not be a big issue, but again, your workout may suffer. So if you're trying to increase your run time, if you're trying to go faster in your mile run, if you're trying to lift heavier weights, fasted exercise may put you at a slight disadvantage because your body doesn't have a lot of energy, a lot of sugar stores to pull from. All right. So again, that may not be a big deal for you. And again, we may be talking about 5% or 3% or 10%. Nothing huge. I will say this: long periods of time without eating plus heavy exercise, that is a recipe for lower blood sugar. So if you are going to do it, make sure that you do it as strategic as possible. Next thing, increase hunger. Again, I know I just said a second ago that it can decrease your appetite, right? Well, when it comes to hunger here, some people exercise ramps up their hunger. And so if you start off, you may feel like you're never full. All right, because again, your body doesn't have a whole lot to begin with, and then we're burning through any type of reserves that we had or anything like that, further decreasing our blood sugar. That might make us ravenous over the course of the day. All right, again, that's not for everybody, but that is something to reconsider. Also, last but definitely not least, when we do these things to our bodies over the long term, we increase the stress our bodies have. And so our body's reaction to stress is to release cortisol, the stress hormone, right? And so what that might do, that could increase, any type of gainage around the belly. That could increase your hunger. It could do some things. It could actually leach off some of your muscle mass as well. So doing those, and again, this is not for everybody, but it could add an additional stressor to the body. Because again, you're doing something that the body necessarily wasn't quote unquote designed to do. So it could add a stressor to you. So if you've been doing fasted exercise for a while and it's been working well for you, by all means continue doing it. If you're new into fasted exercise, definitely take all of these things into consideration. I would definitely recommend that, if you are eating, let's say 6 p.m. is your stopping point for eating, and then you're not going to eat again until 10 a.m. the next day, that is going to be a tough time for you to exercise in the morning because you're not going to have any food in you for well over 12 hours. So I would recommend maybe pushing that exercise session maybe a little bit later on in the day or as close to that feeding time as possible. Or if you're going to go a really long time between eating, 12, 16, 18 hours, lower the intensity of your exercise to kind of go through with that. All right. So if you do have additional questions, you're more than welcome to contact me through direct message, email, phone call, whatever is comfortable for you. I thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I'll be talking with you soon.